So our theme today that we're working with in class is circular motion, and I just was thinking about like moving on a continuum and trying to like harness almost momentum and just keep it going in circles. So circles will come up in a bunch of different ways. A little bit different than we normally do. We won't do that kind of opener with the bridge and the core work. We'll integrate that into our whole sequence. So it might feel a little bit different if you're used to that being separated out. But let's go ahead and get started. I'll probably pop back to the computer a couple times just to lock our Zoom room. But you can start on your back today. And as if we were going towards a low bridge, you'll have those feet flat on the floor, reclining all the way down. Taking a moment here, sense if you can encourage the base of the skull towards the floor. And you'll feel that to do that, you probably have to draw the chin towards the throat and lengthen the back of the neck. And then something I've been playing with lately is pressing the whole tongue up on the roof of your mouth. And that might make it a little easier to lengthen the back of the neck because it draws your kind of central neck muscles into a different position. So you can try that out if you're interested. From here, we will go into a low bridge, but we're going to move with it today. So we'll take these first few iterations of it a bit slowly. Press into your feet, lengthen the tailbone towards your heels, and then we'll lift into our low bridge. Only coming off, only as high as allows you to keep your front kind of knitting together, nice and strong there. And then we'll sequentially lower through the spine. Step the left foot out to the side slightly, maybe as wide as your mat. And then let the knees fall to the left and press through that right foot for a bit of a twist. So that right half of the pelvis is coming off the mat, but still keep an eye on what's happening in the ribs and the chin. And then bringing the right half of the pelvis back to the mat and the left foot back to where you started. And once again, we'll lift into that low bridge. Check in with the back of the neck. Lower through the spine here. And this time the right foot steps a little bit out to the right and the knees fall in that direction, pressing through the left foot. And lowering the left half of the pelvis, right foot steps back. And so we'll move between these things. Lowering, left foot steps out and we shift over to the left with the knees. And then coming back to your back, left foot comes in, lift through bridge. Lowering sequentially, right foot steps out, supine twist, pressing through the left foot there. We're going to add something new on in this round. So come back to your back, step the right foot in, and then peel your head off the floor, slide your forearms almost under you, so elbows come under the shoulders. Hands come to the side of your ribs, and we'll just kind of flick our feet here. So right leg lifts a little, and then we switch, right leg lowers, left leg lifts, or just the knee is extending, might be a better way to say that. And switch. Just two more, right and left, just a nice opener or a wake up for the core, and then shift back to your back. Press into your feet, lift your low bridge, lower to the floor, left foot steps out to the left, and we let the knees fall for our twist. Coming back onto your back, returning for this position for the core wake up, elbows come under the shoulders, fingers to the ribs, and let's start with the left leg extending, and then the right, and then the left, really trying to keep the front of you contained. One more each way, left and right foot lowers. We return for our low bridge. Press into the feet. We'll do just one more in each direction. Right foot steps out to the right, knees go right for our twist. Returning to your back, right foot steps in, lifting the head up, forearms to the floor. And this time you can keep doing it with one foot on the floor, or scissor the legs here. So feel what your core needs, what you feel like doing. Then just one more each way. Both feet come to the floor. And then last time here, we lift for our low bridge. Left foot steps out to the left a little, shifting for your twist. Now from here, keep rolling towards the left. You'll plant the right hand on the floor and push your torso up. You're gonna let the right knee kind of anchor to the floor. This is a little bit of what I call a stag position. We'll do this again on the other side. Right hand comes to the top of the left thigh and then side bend to the right. And you can adjust the right leg in any way. If this isn't feeling good or you're cramping, you can always just extend the leg out to your right. Side bending to the right, get a little opening in that left side. And then return to vertical. We'll slide the right leg across for a seated twist. If that's too much right now, you can always extend the bottom leg, or you can always make it more of like an ankle cross. So from here, just feeling for a moment, some opening in the hip. I like to brace my knee there a little. And then continue turning to the back of the mat. We'll plant the hands and bring the knees under you for a quadruped. Inhale here, open the chest for cow. Exhale, tuck the toes and lift the pelvis for a little short down dog. You can keep the knees bent here. Knees lower, inhale for cow. And exhale, lift for down dog. And you'll feel as you do this, inhale for cow, maybe almost the sense of how cyclical this can feel. I sort of like to add inhale for cow as I lift to my down dog. When I move forward towards my quadruped, I almost shift my weight forward like I was making a circle there. Lifting to your down dog, of course, taking your time. One more here. And then next time the knees lower, we'll lower the elbows as well. Forearms coming to the floor. Exhale here, push the forearms to the floor and puff that upper back up in space. This is called the Serratus Puff. And then inhale, as you return to neutral, you can sit the hips back for a bit of a child's pose, maybe even walk the arms forward. Forearms return to the floor, exhale, pushing up between your shoulder blades, really pulling the chin towards the throat, and then inhale, lengthening the spine, shifting back for a bit of a child's pose. Forearms to the floor, one more time, push it up. Exhale. Inhale, imagine somebody who's slightly pulling on your tail to lengthen you out here for your child's pose. And then shift forward, bringing the hands under your shoulders, and we'll step the left foot to a low lunge or a half kneel position. So you might have to lift up on the fingers for the room there, and then inhale, arms lift. Just as we did in our bridge pose, we will keep the tailbone reaching towards the floor, nice and long there. And bring the left hand behind the pelvis, side bend to the right. Left hand returns towards vertical, and then swing the left arm forward, down, and around to make a circle. Left hand behind the pelvis, side bend to the left. Coming back to vertical, that left arm reaches up, and then we do a circle, reaching forward, down, back, and up. You can always, as we do this, as you make that circle, you can always bend the left arm at any point if you feel you need a little bit more room through the shoulder. One more of each of these, side bending, and then left arm reaches, and we reach forward, down, and around. From here, we'll bring the right hand to the floor for a bit of a twisted low lunge. You also can tuck the right toes and extend that knee for more of a twisted crescent. Really feel the crease in the right hip here. Some opening in the the left hip. I always mix them up. And then we'll turn to your right to face the side of the mat for some side lunges, both toes facing this direction. And you can have the hands on the hips, or today we'll all put the hands somewhere on the legs. Maybe they're on your ankles, maybe they're on your shins, but shifting side to side in our side lunges, just feeling some nice opening in the inner thighs and some length in the spine. Now this is definitely more lateral and circular, but that's okay, it's a nice opener. From here, turn to your right towards the front of the mat, hands plant, and we'll step back for down dog and immediately lift that right leg, three-legged down dog, if that feels okay. Bend the right knee, exhale, draw the thigh towards your belly. Probably won't get that far, but just draw it forward and then extend the leg back. Exhale, draw the leg forward, bending the knee, and extend it back. Exhale, draw it forward, and extend it back. This time we'll take this with some steps. Keeping the hands planted, right foot steps forward, left foot steps forward, right foot steps back to down dog, and left foot steps back. Left foot steps forward, then the right foot steps forward, left foot back, right foot back. Now I like to do this about halfway up the mat, especially if I haven't moved already this day, or even just a quarter of the way up the mat. So you don't have to be stepping the feet all the way forward. Give yourself that flexibility to do what's working for you now. And then we'll pause next time you reach your down dog. Right leg lifts just briefly, and we'll step the right foot forward, coming to a warrior one. Step the left foot out just a bit and ground the heel if that feels okay as you rise to vertical. So legs are on two separate lines here. Inhale, arms reach up. And if this isn't feeling good in your pelvis, if you feel like your hips are really open here, you can always lift that back heel off the floor, like more of a crescent lunge. So both options are good. We'll swing the left arm just as we did in our low lunge. Left arm reaches forward, down, and around. And really here, hold on to your left glute to stabilize the pelvis. So we're trying to keep our two pelvic points reaching towards the front of the mat, rather than allowing the left half to open up. And again, if you need to make this a crescent to allow that to happen, that's fine. One more circle here. Pause. Right hand comes to the hip crease, the right hip crease. Shift your weight forward, flexing at that hip, reaching the left arm along the ear, almost like you were going towards a twist to plant that hand, but we'll keep it elevated here. From here, we'll slide the left leg so it's a bit more in line with the right, opening for a warrior two. So opening towards the side of the mat, exhale, reverse. Right arm reaching over the ear, inhale through center, and warrior variation, right forearm to thigh, stretching out your side body, we'll reverse. And maybe this time continue your circle to come to vertical, swinging that right arm across. And then left arm reaches, and we can continue that circle, swinging the arm across, down, and back to vertical. Windmill the hands to the floor. We'll come to our belly. So if you want to go through the knees, go for it, or lower from plank. Anchor your pubic bone here. Feel a little bit of lift through your core to support the low back. And then one at a time, roll your shoulders back in space. So right rolls back and then the left. Just getting a little bit of opening. And then let that go. We'll roll over our left side, coming onto our back to repeat this sequence. On the other side, coming full circle here. Plant into those feet. We'll lift for our first low bridge. And lower. We'll go a little bit quicker through this series. Right foot steps out, twisting, letting those knees fall to the right, press through the left foot. Coming back to our starting point, lifting the head and shoulder blades up, squeeze those forearms under you, and you can either extend one knee at a time or do your scissor kicks here. One more each way. And then plant the feet lower to the floor. Press into those feet, we'll extend for our low bridge. Lowering through the spine, left foot steps out to the left just a bit, and we twist that direction, letting the knees fall to the left. Returning to your back, lifting head and shoulder blades, slide the forearms under you. I like to bring my fingers to my ribs to remind me to kind of keep things consolidated there. And then extend or scissor the legs. One more each way. Feet plant, and we'll do just one more to each side. I'm gonna let you take this in your own rhythm. So this first time, the right foot steps out for your twist to the right. And then once again, we'll do our abdominal series in between. Really feel like your low belly's pulling towards the back of your pelvis, your sacrum. And then last round here. Left foot steps out. Back through center. Last time with our core. And then here we'll plant the feet, or should have ended on the other side. So step the right foot to the right. Let both sets of knees fall in that direction. And then continue your trajectory rolling over the right side. Left hand plants and torso lifts up for our stag position. That left knee, inner part of the left knee is on the floor. Left hand presses into the right thigh. Now we side bend left here. Oh, this has become one of my favorite stretches lately. Remember, if it's too much on this left leg, you can extend it with the heel down on the floor rather than having that internal rotation. Back to vertical, head to your version of a seated twist, crossing left leg maybe over right ankle or over thigh, maybe extending that bottom leg, and just take a moment to find your verticality here. Heading to quadruped, turn towards the front of the mat, hands plant, and bring those knees right under the hips. Inhale for cow, exhale, tuck the toes, lift that pelvis for down dog. And just shift between these two. Maybe finding how you can almost imagine the knees were making a circle if that feels good to you. Lifting towards the back and then shifting forward towards your quadruped. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for down dog. And let's just do 2 more cycles. You take your time, find your rhythm. And then when those knees lower, we'll lower the forearms for our serratus puffs here. Exhale, push the upper back up in space towards the ceiling. Chin releases. And then inhale, shifting the hips back for a bit of a child's pose. Forearms plant, exhale, push that upper back up. Inhale, lengthen back. Last time here, forearms come under you. We shift forward and exhale, push up. Inhale as you lengthen back. Maybe reach those hands forward. Let's just take one breath here. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And then we'll shift forward. We're coming to step the right foot forward for half kneel. Maybe lift on the fingertips to get a little more room there. And then rise to vertical. Arms reach up. Left glute turns on there. And the right hand comes behind the pelvis. Let's side bend to the right. Keeping everything below the ribs kind of in order. Back to vertical, that right arm reaches up. And then swing the right arm forward, down, and around for a circle. Right hand returns behind the pelvis, side bend. Back to vertical, right arm reaches, and we take our circle. Right hand behind the pelvis, side bend. Last time, back to vertical, right arm reaches, and we take our circle, letting the ribs get involved. And then the left hand comes towards the floor, or you could use a block there for a twisted low lunge. Maybe tuck the left toes and extend that knee. Just revolving from the spine towards the right here. Turning to your left, we'll turn both feet in that direction for our side lunges. Bending into left knee and hip, and right knee and hip. Really imagining almost like that hip was a door hinge. So we keep, if our torso was the door, we keep it nice and long, right? The door's not gonna bend as we move there. And you can have those hands on the legs somewhere. Just moving side to side. Next time you bend right, just pause there. We'll turn to the back of the mat, plant the hands, step the left foot back for down dog. If it feels okay, you can lift the left leg, three-legged down dog. Maybe bend that knee. Exhale, draw the thigh towards your torso, flexing at the hip there, and then extend. And if you're taking this flexion and extension in the hip, really watch the ribs that they don't fall towards the leg as it comes forward, but you really keep the front of the ribs nice and strong there. Good, and then everybody will start our steps. So left foot steps forward, keeping the hands planted, then the right foot, left foot back, right foot back. Moving between, it's almost like a bent knee forward fold, maybe not that extreme, and a down dog. Only taking the feet as far forward as you can while keeping the back nice and long. So once again, we're flexing at those hips. Just alternating feet here. And just one more each side. When you hit your down dog, you'll lift the left leg up for three-legged down dog just for a moment. And we'll step forward, rising for our crescent lunge or our warrior one. So crescent lunge, you'll have the heel off the floor. Warrior one, you'll step that foot out a little bit and try to ground the heel on a slight diagonal. Goal here is for our pelvis to be parallel to the back of the mat. So make any accommodation, bending the knee, anything to make that happen. Inhale, arms reach up. And we'll take our circles with the right arm here. So reaching right arm forward, down and around. You'll feel this probably pull on the front of the right hip a little differently. And just try to feel the cycle of it, like one circle bleeds into the next. It's like a continuum. Letting the ribs be involved and follow along. And then just one more. Left hand comes to the left hip crease, and we'll crease there, shifting forward with the torso. Keep reaching that right arm long. Now we'll open to warrior two. So I like to slide my right foot over to the left a little as I open up to vertical, opening to the side of the mat. Reverse your warrior, left arm reaching over the ear, side bending towards that back leg. And then you can take this circle down and around, returning to our starting point. Warrior variation, left forearm to thigh, reaching that right arm, maybe continuing the right arm to finish that circle. Last time, reverse it. Left arm reaching, continue your circle, and warrior variation. Continue that circle. We'll plant those hands, we're coming to our belly, so either through the knees or lowering from plank. And then take a little bit of cobra chest, really turn the glutes on, and one at a time, roll those shoulders back. Nice gentle upper back opening, chest opening. And of course, if that feels weird on the shoulders, You can take the hands a little bit wider, or just make this more of a static cobra. From here, we'll plant into the hands, shift those hips back for a child's pose. And then you can choose if you want to take the knees a bit wider there. That's a nice variation too. Maybe staying on the forearms if that feels better, or letting the head come all the way to the floor with arms extended. Let's take a breath here, imagining our breath was making a circle. So inhale through the nose, and as you reach your peak, just let it fall into an exhale. Inhale. Just kind of blurring the transition, I guess, between inhale and exhale. And we naturally kind of do that. We have a beautiful cycle in our breath of the inhale and exhale. But sometimes we forget it's there. We don't give it the attention. Just one more breath like that. And just for a moment, we'll come to a comfortable seat. If a seat's not comfortable for you, you can lie down. You can really find any position. We'll take just a moment in a Savasana. So Savasana doesn't have to be laying on your back. It's any position that allows you to release into it. So just listen to what that is for your body. And we'll take a few moments here, releasing effort, releasing intention, just kind of sealing things in the body, in the mind. If you'd like to stay there a bit longer today, feel free to stay as long as you'd like. You can just mute the video or the computer. You're ready to move. On your next inhale, reach the arms wide here, like you were making a T position. Reaching, imagining you could almost like wrap around the globe with these arms in either direction. Really opening the chest. And then exhale, draw the palms together at heart center and just close that space. On your next inhale, once again, reach the arms far apart, making that T. Exhale, palms at heart center. We'll take one reach up with the arms, reaching overhead, lengthening through your sides, inhaling there. And then exhaling, coming to a position where you can just take a final moment to take stock, keeping those eyes closed. Noticing any change in your body, cueing into our natural cycles. Remembering to pause for that throughout your day. So thank you so much for your practice today, for our quick flow. I hope everyone is safe and taking care of themselves. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Thank you. All right, I will stick around if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Have a great rest of the afternoon. Thanks, Monica.